Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. So glad you're joining me tonight. I missed you last week, so I'm so glad to be back with you tonight. Little housekeeping. Remember, if you like the video I'm showing you tonight, please share my video and comment share down in the comments, and you might win the card I'm working on tonight. If you're not able to share, would you give me a heart? I'd appreciate that. Facebook likes the hearts better than the thumbs up. So if you give me a heart, that helps me show up in the algorithm better, and more people get to see my video that way. So that helps a lot too. If you recall, last time we were together, we made this cute shaker card. And this is going to go out to Jennifer Davis. So Jennifer, I will get this to you. She shared my video, she commented, shared, and then she was chosen randomly from all of the people who shared my video. So maybe next week it'll be you. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And then once you do that, would you hit the blue bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. I do upload a new video most Monday evenings. So, with that being said, let's get started and get right to business. Working on this week's card. Oh, well, wait, before I do, you've only got one more day of celebration. So, don't miss out. If there's something you've been wanting, it's kind of the last call, so to speak. So when I switch my view down to my hands, you'll see my website address and my host code right here, denisewill.stampinup.net, and that's my current host code. And if you use that and your order's over $35, you'll get a gift from me. That's $35 before shipping and tax. But you're going to want to get your order at least to $50 before shipping and tax so that you can get a free celebration item. Okay, so this week we're going to work on a card. I love this bundle. This is the Sentimental Park bundle, and that's what we're working with again tonight. It has the dies and the stamp set. And it uses the Regency Park Designer Series paper, which is florals and some kind of more geometric or more neutral on the reverse side. But I just love this paper. And there's some paper here that I've already used up all of them of that. So there was even more. I love florals. Love them, love them. So, I think while we are waiting, I think the only dies I'm actually using out of this die set this week is this one. Okay? I'll put that off to the side there. This frame and this oval is from the Framed Florets dies. I used this die here. So it cuts out our frame and it cuts out our oval that we're going to stamp on. So it makes it very convenient. Get it all in one fell swoop. So I'm going to leave that die right here so that when we need it, I can find it. Again, this has got some great sentiments in it. And you know, at first I wasn't too fond of these kind of small sentiments. I'm like, those are kind of small. I don't like those. But see what I did on this card? I combined them. And I really like how this turned out. 2 different fonts. Let's celebrate. Happy birthday. It could be let's celebrate your graduation. Let's celebrate your anniversary. Let's celebrate your new adventure. Or let's celebrate your new baby. So I like, let me zoom in just a little bit here. There we go. So you know, sometimes it takes a while to work with something before you see all of the possibilities. And that's exactly what there are, is possibilities. So we'll set that off to the side and we're going to get started. Excuse me here. Okay, first of all, I have a piece of Night and Navy cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm folding this in half, okay? And this will be our card base. I'm gonna get my bone folder and we will burnish that fold so we have a nice crisp fold, okay? And then we have a piece of that Regency Park Designer Series paper, and it is cut at, let me check my measurements here, 5.25 by 4, and it's gonna go right on here. And I like that there's not even a mat on this. It just looks, it has a different look than if I'd put a mat on that, a white mat. So there we go. Okay, there we are. Perfect. Now, I have already cut out our frame and our circle, or our oval here, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put this down right in the center. Okay, I could use, I think I will. I'll go ahead and use the liquid adhesive, the Tombow, we call it green glue for short. And you just want a small little amount, okay? Got some clumps here, so I showed you this trick before, I'm gonna do it again. Hold on, I got a piece of paper right over here I can use. Okay. Green glue is great, but it will ooze out and make everything sticky. So if I have a glop of glue, I don't know if you can see I have a couple there, I just kind of wipe it off on a piece of paper so then I don't have to worry so much about it oozing out. Okay, so let's put that, does that look? And the nice thing about the glue, the liquid glue, is it gives you a second to position it. Okay, let's put the lid on that. That's all we're going to need that for. Now we are going to stamp on our oval. Get my mat because we're using photopolymer stamps. And I am pulling out the leaf and stem. This ink is shaded Spruce. Yep, shaded Spruce. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. And just put this right here. Perfect. Okay. Now, to fill in, whoops, there's my other one there. Put that away so that I don't get ink all over everything. I'm going to take my light shaded Spruce Stampin' Blends and just color in my leaf, okay? I love our alcohol markers. They color nicely. I don't do all the fancy things with them. They can do a lot of things. Alcohol markers can. But I'm not that sophisticated of an artist. I mean, I can do it, but it takes a long time. And I don't usually like to spend that much time on a card. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And you see how the blends do sometimes bleed a little bit, so you have to be careful. Okay, so there's that. Now we are going to stamp our flowers. Got some scraps here. And when I say scraps, I mean scraps of paper. And I'm using pumpkin pie. Going to use this flower here. We're going to stamp it 3 times. Let me see. There we go. that. And I'm going to use my light pumpkin pie blend to color these flowers in. Okay, just like this. So bear with me here. Sometimes I do this ahead of time, but I didn't quite think about that today, so I should have had a couple of these done already. Okay, there's the first one. Nothing fancy, just coloring them in. I don't think this stamp set has anything that actually, no, it doesn't have anything that fills the flower in. Sometimes Stampin' Up! Gives us an additional stamp that we could use to stamp the inside of a flower, but not on this set. So there's a lot of ways you could do this. If you were using watercolor paper, you could, use your water painters and pick up ink out of the lid of the ink pad, do it that way. You could use your pencils, watercolor pencils. Okay, so there's our 3 flowers. I do have one more thing to stamp before we're done, so I'm going to keep those out. Let me get out my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Yay, mini. Okay, we have this. And what I want to do too is get a piece of washi tape so that I can put my die on the flowers and I don't have to worry about it moving around. Tear a little piece or two here. It's so much quicker in the long run. So I just kind of have to figure out how the flower goes, which way the die cut works. I think that's it. Is that it? There we go. Okay. Just kind of put the washi tape to where the scrap is going to be, the waste. And here we go. We'll run it through. If you adhere your washi tape to something that you're going to keep, you have to be careful when you pull it off that you don't tear it, okay? Because it can tear the paper, but it works. Okay, there's one down. Let me see here. I just have to figure out how this goes on here again. It's like sometimes it's hard to figure out, but once you get it, you know you've got it right. Oops, that's not it either. Oh, there it is. No, maybe not. Maybe this one goes that way. Hold on, I can't do this on the machine. There we go. Now I got it. Usually there's one special little bump or something that helps you figure it out. If you don't have this little machine, it is wonderful to have because it's perfect for traveling. If you go to a crop or a crafting event, maybe you RV, use your RV during the summer and you travel, but you want to, create on the road, it's the perfect size. It doesn't accommodate all of the Stampin' Up dies because some of them are too big, but for the most part, it's great for small ones like this. And in the catalog, in the Stampin' Up catalog, if it fits in this machine, the die has a little indicator next to it that says mini. So I don't know if you haven't seen that, take a look. So then you'll know that that die will work if you have this machine. Okay. Now we got those cut out. Put this over here. Okay, yay. And we got 3 flowers all cut out. They look nice. I think what we're going to do, we're going to put one over here, and one on the top. So these 2 are going to be flat, and the one that's in the center is going to be up on a dimensional. Give us a little bit of depth, some height, a little interest. There we go. I just think this is a cute card, and you could use this for so many different occasions. Okay, and here's my dimensional right here. And before I put this on, we're going to put our little, you see the little gems? And these are the adhesive backed Milky dots. I know I've used them before. And you know, the more I use them, the more that I like them. So these are the small ones that are in this orangey color. There we go. When I put mine together, I put the top flower on before I put my center on, and I had to kind of finagle it under there a little bit. So it took a little bit of work, but I got it. There we go. Put those off to the side. Okay, it goes like that, but not yet. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to do our sentiment first. Because I don't know if you can tell, but this banner is kind of over or under that edge of that oval. So we're going to work on that next. Okay. So I have a piece of white cardstock, and this looks like this is about 3/4 by about 3.5. And we're going to do just like this. Let's celebrate, and then happy birthday. I'll show you here. Put let's celebrate. Okay. And again, that was in the pumpkin pie. Now we're going to use Night of Navy for the happy birthday. And I'm going to stamp that right below the let's celebrate. I just love the way that looks. Check that out. Isn't that cool? Like I said, I didn't like the small font, but I'm loving it now. Okay. Oh, I gotta grab my little trimmer here. Hang on. It's behind my computer. Okay. And you can see what I did here. I made my strip a little bigger than I needed it to be, and I stamped toward the top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off what I don't need. Let's see here. I better do it this way. I'm not measuring it. I'm just... Let's see, is that straight? It looks pretty straight. Okay. There we go. And it just kind of trims it up a little. And then the next thing that we will do is the sides of our sentiment. And normally you can just cut it, do a, where's my scissors at? you could cut like this and then each side, but you know what? That takes me a little while. Sometimes I don't always do it evenly. So I am just going to use my banner punch and cut off. And sometimes I'll cut more than one off. There we go, that's perfect. I'm going to try a couple here. I'm going to get this even. We can do one more, I think. There we go. Now you don't need this punch. Like I said, you can do this with your scissors and it's quicker, but you know what? Sometimes I screw it up and I didn't want to do that. Okay, and so now I've got this piece of, this is called the, hold on here, I forgot the, what is this called? Shimmer, textured shimmer paper. Comes in a sheet of 12 by 12. I used it a couple weeks ago on some flower stems, but we're going to put that behind here. And this is a 1/2 inch by 3 inches, okay? Let's see how that's going to do. Yep, we don't want to take too, we're going to take a little more off of this banner here and here. And I always turn it to the back so I can see what's going on. Make sure it's kind of even. Let's see how that is. That looks nice. I don't even know. I'll trim it just a little bit. What we'll do, we'll just cut a little bit off of here. And a little bit off this end here. Not much, just a little bit. Perfect. Oh, come on, there we go. And we will adhere our sentiment to this. Now, if you didn't have this paper, you could use a piece of cardstock. You could use a piece of ribbon. Whatever you wanted to. Okay, so there we go. Let's celebrate. It's going to go kind of like that. And then this will go on top of it, sort of like that. Actually, I think we'll go ahead and put this on. Where are my dimensionals? Okay. We're almost done. And like I said, this card you could do for any number of different events, occasions. There we go. And put some adhesive back here. Whoops. That's one of my pieces I cut off my banner. There we are. And we're going to slide this just a little bit under here. There we go. Kind of center it. That looks centered. Good. Now all we need is our bow. Okay, and for that, we're going to use the 3 twine combo pack. We're going to get out the pumpkin pie twine. It also has Coastal Cabana and Garden Green. Some Stampin' Up! Basics. Okay, so that's a double ribbon done with the twine. So what I do is I just fold the twine over and cut it off. Okay. And you're going to treat this as, whoops, as if this is just one piece. You're going to tie this in unison. Sometimes it's a little harder than other times, so we'll see how I do here. Let's see here. I know what I need. Sometimes it's hard to get both of them through. I'm going to use this here. I'm going to grab it. Look at that. It's kind of like threading the needle. There we go. There we are. Then I just have to, look at that. Now I just have to kind of play with it and get it the size I want. That's too big. And you're like, what's that loop down there? This loop. That's going to be the tails. We'll cut that off. Remember, that's where we folded the twine in half. There we go. That looks pretty nice. What's about the other side? I like that side better. That'll go on there perfect. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my glue dot. I'm going to adhere it, and then I'm going to trim it off. Oops. I got a glue dot that came off on my hands. So we'll just put it on the back of our bow. I'm going to put it right up there. Just trim those off. And there we go. Oops, it's a little, I cut it a little too short. Let's see. Actually, my loops are a little bigger than I wanted them. There we go. That looks pretty good. And that's it. There we go. We've got a birthday card using the Sentimental Park bundle. So I hope you like this project tonight, and I hope to see you next Monday night, Stamping with Denise. And don't forget, celebration's almost over. If there's something you want, don't wait. It's now or never. Okay? Take care, everybody. Bye, and I'll see you next Monday night.